This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Thursday, February 28th. Nope, 20th. I'm here with Al, Lindsay, and I'm Tori. Brandon has the day off. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. All right.
Been using my aqua notes.
Yes, I love those.
Al doesn't want to talk about this.
Nope.
Okay.
We need a graphic for that.
We sure do. All right, we do have to ask, what did you guys think of last night's debate? A very quick button here. Just an overall take.
Oh, it was chaos. Just complete chaos.
So just one word, chaos.
I'm trying to abide by the rules and say one word and get into it later.
I feel you. What about you?
I feel like it was just proof that Vegas makes everything more fun.
Yeah.
Like the other debates in like New Hampshire, you're like, okay. But this was like a Vegas debate. It was awesome.
This was something.
Well said.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Election 2020 took a savage turn in Nevada.
Nice graphic.
Elizabeth Warren, she came right out of the gate at a 10, targeting billionaire Michael Bloomberg with this really, truly brutal takedown. Let's take a look.
I'd like to talk about who we're running against. A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg. Democrats take a huge risk if we just substitute one arrogant billionaire for another. He has gotten some number of women, dozens, who knows, to sign non-disclosure agreements, both for sexual harassment and for gender discrimination in the workplace. So, Mr. Mayor, are you willing to release all of those women from those non-disclosure agreements?
He tried to defend this too and say, oh, I just made a couple off-color jokes that have been in those non-disclosure agreements. And it was like, I doubt that people are going to sign that for a non-disclosure.
Yeah.
You know, that's too much if it was just a joke.
To be honest, Bloomberg could have come back with, every company has non-disclosures. Every single company. I thought he fell.
Well, Tori, he could have come back had he been prepared by his team.
Right.
He like walked into the house like when your girl knows you were cheating and you don't know. So like, so he was like doing that thing where he thinks he's like talking, but he was just quiet. And she's like, "How many non-disclosures do you have?" And he's like, that was on his team.
It wasn't good.
How did he not know?
He wasn't prepared, as you said, and she was. Let's keep going with Elizabeth Warren, because she did not stop at Bloomberg. She also went after Mayor Pete and Amy Klobuchar for their health plans. Let's take a look at that.
I'd like to talk about who we're running against. A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg. Democrats are not going to win if we have a nominee who has a history of hiding his...
All right, well, obviously that was the first clip, but she did go strong. Meantime, frontrunner...
I think that need to be said again.
Yeah, we had to hear it one
Drop the mic.
time.
Rewind.
Meantime, frontrunner Bernie Sanders responded to criticism around his democratic socialist values, or as Bloomberg called him, a communist. Here's his response.
Let's talk about democratic socialism, not communism, Mr. Bloomberg. That's a cheap shot. Let's talk about democratic. Let's talk about what goes on in countries like Denmark, where Pete correctly pointed out they have a much higher quality of life in many respects than we do. What are we talking about? We are living in many ways in a socialist society right now. Problem is, as Dr. Martin Luther King reminded us, we have socialism for the very rich, rugged individualism for the poor.
Wow. So I got to just be honest here. What are we doing as the Democrats? I mean, what's going on? Elizabeth Warren came out strong, but that was like, I couldn't watch it. I mean, it was really...
What was your problem with it?
It was
like,
just,
what was off-putting?
It was just too many people all yelling at each other, and not one of them is coming out as a front runner. And that's scary because the Republicans are probably applauding in the streets. I got to be calling it what it is here. I'm always honest on this show.
And to me, Bloomberg went in there like a deer in headlights. He was unrelatable, already had all these issues and didn't address them head on. This is the wrong debate to jump into if you were ill-prepared. On top of that, everyone is saying that Trump is the front runner here. You know, he won the debate and he wasn't even there because look what happened up there. We have Warren who outshined everybody, and she wasn't even leading in Nevada.
Yeah.
So now what's the plan? It just looks like complete chaos. That's why I understand it was funny and drama, but this is not a reality show. It's the election. And I really don't understand who's coming out on top there because Biden couldn't get a word out.
You know,
Klobuchar doesn't, she's on a foreign oversight committee and doesn't understand who the president of Mexico is. And I understand it's just one name, but it's one name you need to know if you're on a foreign oversight committee. Yeah. So there's just a lot to me that needs to be figured out.
I don't know. You're like, this isn't a reality show, but our president is a reality show star. Maybe it is.
But
I think you are more in politics than a lot of politicians in that you believe in the process, where I think that process has now been overrun, and I think it is a TV show.
We need one person to stand out. I do want to give you guys a quick update on breaking news. The president's longtime friend, we just got this in, sorry to interrupt, and mentor, Roger Stone, has just been sentenced. He got 40 months, which is a little more than 3 years. I believe he was up to 9 years. Here he is arriving in federal court earlier today to learn his fate. He was found guilty of impeding a congressional investigation of Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Now, the case is getting a ton of scrutiny after federal prosecutors changed their sentencing recommendations after the president tweeted about his unfair treatment, and the Attorney General Bill Barr personally intervened. So this is when you hear people talking, and you might not understand that our Justice Department is now under the rule of thumb of the president. That's sort of what's going on. He also signaled the president, after pardoning 11 people, I'm going to pardon you. So it doesn't matter if Roger Stone gets 10,000 years. This guy's never going to see a day in jail. I would put all my money on that.
Well, many people think that he deserves a retrial, right? 4 different prosecutors left the case because they don't like how he was being sentenced, and there are people that
wait, why did they leave? Because they felt uncomfortable with Trump and Barr stepping in.
But that's what I mean. People think that on the Democratic side, people are jumping in and affecting the Justice Department and saying that he should get 9 years. You see, he only got 3.5, but they were suggesting 9 years, and so people think he needs a retrial. He actually has a motion pending for a retrial.
I think more people are interested, or at least I am, in seeing Attorney Bill Barr at least discussing impeachment, because at some point you don't get to mess in because the president wants you to. You're not his call guy. You're the Attorney General.
Yeah, but James Comey and Clapper, they both did the same thing, lying under oath, and they're not in jail right now. So this is a conversation to have.
Right. I think we have a real issue with our Justice Department now. So write us in. We want to know what you think. Again, breaking news, Roger Stone gets 40 months in prison.
I like when we describe prison sentences like you would a baby.
What? 40 months?
Yeah, it's almost an adorable sentence.
What a cutie.
He's 26 months today.
I was trying to calculate it when I found out the news. I'm like,
I can't do that. All right, yesterday, you all remember this. We were so upset with that guy when he was charged with throwing his and Drew Carey's ex, Amy Harwick, off of the 3rd floor balcony. Well, he was released on $2 million bail. We all remember this. Well, get this. Garrett Pursehouse has now been rearrested and is being held without bail after being charged with, quote, lying in wait, first-degree burglary, and murder. Now, what's important about this is that the special circumstance of lying in wait now means he is eligible for the death penalty. So this particular little clause gets you to have an option of the death penalty. Why was he let go in the first place?
I just think it's embarrassing for the LAPD. That's I just think
my
the whole
point.
thing.
They were shamed into it, which is that how we're going to conduct justice now? You just have to hope TV shows run with it and shame people into.
You think that's what happened?
That's exactly what happened. It was the story, is the lead story in everybody's news. Otherwise, they would have been pocketing that $200,000, and I don't know what they do with it. But
rearresting him for very similar charges just because he premeditated it is why you're going to put him in jail with no bail. How about that he'd been hitting this woman and putting his hands on her for years? She has several restraining orders against him. Just come on, get it together. The LAPD is looking real crazy right now.
We need some bond reform, and fast. All right, DBL, we are live, and coming up, a crime that got national attention. A Connecticut mother vanishes while all fingers point to her estranged husband. Well, the shocking new twist in today's True Crime Chronicles, and you, the viewer, are our 5th host, We Never Pay. Swearing in public isn't exactly classy, but should it be outlawed? Keep your comments clean, because we're sharing them coming up next.
This February, ask the one you love to be mine and get away to a Sandals Resorts luxury included Caribbean vacation. Watch Daily Blast Live every day for a word of the day. Then enter at dailyblastlive.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night romantic escape for 2. The winner will be announced on DBL February 26th. What better way to say be mine?
DBL Nation, meow! Welcome to the show. We are so happy you're here with us today. Stay tuned for that Copycat Kitchen because it is a good one to see what Tori is making. Also, Travis is showing me what I look like. DBL Nation, we are so glad you're here with us today. We do have an update on Roger Stone, so that just came in. As you saw, DBL is live. Live. We always give you the breaking news as it comes in. We were all running around giving the news to the booth. That way they could get in Tori's ear and give her the breaking news. So Tori, not only did Roger Stone get sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in prison, he also has a $20,000 fine.
Oh, well.
You got some fuzz on yourself, but I got you.
Yeah, so, you know, this, if you don't know the whole story and it's a little confusing, don't worry. Roger Stone is...
Tell our audience, just
Okay.
go.
Yes.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Roger Stone, and he was a political trickster, and he wanted Donald Trump to run for president. So in 1999, they almost created another party so that Donald Trump could run. Now, he and Donald Trump have been close since 99, besties, and he has a Richard Nixon face tattoo on his back. I'm not kidding you. He believes in political trickery. He believes in Watergate. He believes in trying to do the things that barely cross the line. Now, what he was allegedly charged with was messing with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange and knowing someone, no joke, named Lucifer, who is a Russian asset that somehow knew about WikiLeaks, and he did and lied to the FBI. The one thing I know is not one day will this man, in my opinion, spend in jail. Trump sees him as a father figure. He sees him as someone he absolutely wouldn't have been president without. And I think he shows or exerts his power as a man and president by letting all these people out who are just so ridiculously guilty, in my opinion.
So you don't think he'll see a day
Not
in jail?
one day. He'll do it probably today. He likes the spectacle. Think about it. He's a WWE guy.
All morning.
Oh, yeah. He'll let him out today.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'll
think
see.
so?
For sure. He has that power, and it's a huge power. There's nothing stopping it, except it's a state crime is the only way.
DBL Nation, let us know what you think.
Just keep talking.
Today's Sandals word of the day is sandcastle.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, and a lot of people think swearing in public is rude, especially in front of the kids. And in some states, it's actually illegal. It worked. Yes. Yesterday, Virginia lawmakers said to hell with their 100-year-old ban on public cursing. But in Georgia, foul-mouthed offenders could still be slapped with a fine and even spend 30 days behind bars. So DBL Nation, should cursing in public be legal?
Okay, Freddie from Facebook says, most public spats start with cursing, and if people thought that alone could cost them, they'd be less likely to go there and end up in a fight or in jail. That is so extreme. What if somebody's just on the phone cursing or cursing in jest? I just think like people have freedom of speech. Let's not tell them what they can and can't say. I don't think you should go around and curse out the guy behind you at Starbucks, but other than that, I think you should be okay.
She said cursing in jest.
That's a Tory line right there.
1901 over there.
All right.
Well, the bill's from 1700s.
That's true.
So I was just trying to be appropriate.
That's true.
Jen from Twitter says there should be some sort of penalty for people using profanity in front of children. I don't want my kids hearing swear words all the time. You know, I think we all would like that, but here's a problem. It's called your phone. Your kids have seen and heard everything, unfortunately, and they've probably heard it from you. Trying to get the lawnmower started, you nailed your thumb when you were trying to hang something. Your kids hear their first curse words from you, and then probably their friends. It's hard to hide it. It's hard to hide our kids from the world, but they're going to hear it anyway, so let's start them early.
All right, Amy from Twitter says, I should be able to say what I want to say. This is ridiculous. Who decides what words should be outlawed? Bravo, Amy. What's the First Amendment? Oh, right, freedom of speech. We left England because we weren't allowed to do so. The idea of cursing is included in freedom of expression, and there's a famous Supreme Court case against language, and the defendant wore a curse word on the jacket into court to prove that he's allowed anywhere to wear it. I highly protect freedom of speech, so this should be not a law.
What about curse words at kids' play areas? Should there be certain places?
Sorry, if you want freedom of speech, you want freedom of speech. Now, do you want manners? Yes, of course. Do I think there should be manners? Yes, but I don't think prohibiting speech is ever good.
Okay.
Wow, I silenced the
Drop the mic.
Yeah. Coming up on DBL.
Using no words.
Okay, when a wife and mother went missing, everyone suspected her husband, but new developments are leaving a lot of questions unanswered. True Crime Chronicles is coming up next. Stay tuned.
reminded us that on certain of the basic channels, like 1 through 10 mostly, you can't just say anything. You can't curse on air. But on cable channels, as you'll see, a lot of people are risque. Yeah, it happens from time to time, but they bleep it out usually on like a 2-second to 5-second delay.
The only thing that bothers me, and I want to get your opinion on this, I don't like when people have curse words on their clothing, like T-shirts. Just because, like, I think I get it, you're trying to have a funny T-shirt or whatever, but like if somebody's grandmother's standing there, it's like that's the only thing. Is like I understand, say what you want, but I think there's kind of a rule in society. It's not a legal rule, but just like when in public, you kind of conduct yourself like other people are around.
Well, let me fess up to something. One day, I was very young. I bought a tank top that said New York effing city,
right,
and it had the stars on it, and I wore it in another city, and I just felt uncomfortable the whole time.
Yes.
It was funny when it was me and the person I was hanging out with, but when other people started reading my shirt,
yes,
and like having, it was inappropriate. So
and where in Times Square did you get that shirt? That is the biggest tourist shirt.
I actually got it from H&M.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? People were like,
yeah.
And I felt awkward, like self-conscious.
Yeah, once you go out, you're like, oh.
Yeah, bad choice.
You start sitting like this.
Is it
Dulos?
Guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueState. Call 1-318-7365 now.
Welcome back to DBL. Beloved wife and mother Jennifer Dulos disappeared 9 months ago in Connecticut. Her estranged husband was recently charged with murder, but a new twist has left investigators baffled. We have an update on this case that grabbed national headlines in today's True Crime Chronicles.
Jennifer and Fotis Dulos were college sweethearts at Brown University. In 2004, they relocated to Farmington, Connecticut to start a family. They had 5 children, 2 sets of twins, and a daughter. In 2017, Jennifer files for divorce. Over the next 2 years, the couple became estranged amid a nasty custody dispute.
It's an exhausting fight. I love my children. That's about it.
In late May, Jennifer drops the kids off at school and is never seen again. She's reported missing that day. Police find her blood inside the garage of her home. That same evening, Fotis and his girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, are caught on camera dumping garbage bags containing Jennifer's blood.
You know, I know what I've done and I know what I haven't done. So I have to stand and fight and hope that the truth is going to come out.
10 days later, Fotis and his girlfriend are charged with tampering evidence. They plead not guilty. Then, months later, Fotis is charged with kidnapping and murdering Jennifer. His girlfriend and former lawyer Kent Mawhinney are also charged in connection to the case. But his new attorney insists there's no evidence of a murder.
There's no body. What we have is a suspicious disappearance and an entirely circumstantial case.
What these charges tell us is the state has evidence and doesn't know what to make of it.
Weeks later,
Yukon Fire for a medic and an ambulance expedited response.
Fotis fails to show up for an emergency bail hearing. Officers try checking on him at home.
They could see through a window that Mr. Dulos was sitting in his vehicle and he had obvious signs of medical distress.
Fotis was rushed to a hospital for carbon monoxide poisoning.
Fotis Dulos was declared dead tonight at 5:32.
His death was ruled a suicide. He left behind a suicide note proclaiming his innocence. Almost a year later, and dozens of searches, Jennifer's body still hasn't been found. What happened to the loving mother of 5?
Earlier, Sam Shocker, Al, and I spoke with a reporter who's been following this case since the start. Take a look.
We are joined now by anchor and reporter Ben Goldman from Fox 61 in Hartford, Connecticut. Thank you, Ben, for joining us. Now, this is a very timely case. There are new developments right now. So Fotis Dulos recently died by suicide. Since he was charged with murdering his ex-wife, what happens now? Will his murder trial continue?
This is just the latest of the twists and turns that have gone on since May 24th of last year. His attorney, Norm Pattis, came out the night that Fotis died and said that he wants to continue not only the civil case, but the criminal case. And a lot of legal experts that we spoke to are kind of dumbfounded by this, because how do you continue a criminal case if your suspect is no longer here? But he says he wants the estate of Fotis Dulos to go on. He says he wants to clear his client's name, and we're going to wait and see if that's been done. It's never been done before in the state of Connecticut. His attorney wants to continue it. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition or not.
Wow, a posthumous trial. I've never heard. This story has me reading up into all hours of the night. Jennifer's body has never been found, but Fotis left behind a suicide note. So I want to know, did it say anything or leave any clues behind as to where Jennifer might be?
It was a lengthy note, and essentially it was proclaiming his innocence, saying that he had nothing to do with it, saying that his girlfriend who was arrested had nothing to do with it, his friend and former attorney who was also arrested had nothing to do with it, telling his children that he loves them, but everyone, in his words, has their limits. And then he ended the note apologizing to this new character involved in this saga, Anna Curry, this woman from North Carolina who apparently paid Fotis Dulos' latest bond, who was seen at his house the day that he committed suicide. No clues, a lot of unanswered questions, and Fotis Dulos died proclaiming his innocence.
I'm just wondering, like, obviously we're talking about this on a national level, but what is the temperature going on in Connecticut right now? Like, what are people saying, and what have you picked up as a reporter?
It's very frustrating because your main character in this almost years-long story is no longer around.
Right.
And there's been no concrete ending to it. So a lot of people are still curious about it. A lot of people are still talking about it. It'll be interesting to see how it proceeds going forward now that Fotis Dulos is no longer around. The bottom line here is that so many of us really feel bad for his 5 kids who now don't have a mother, don't have a father, who are living with their grandmother in Manhattan, who's in their 70s or 80s. Just their mental and emotional struggle that they're going to have to deal with. That's really the thing that breaks a lot of people's hearts.
I pray for the truth, for the children, for everyone that's been involved and invested in this case. For the latest updates on the Dulos' case and to read the full story, visit fox61.com. We will be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. Now, I'm your boy Jeray Banks, and I'm here to guide you through everything that you need to slay your life with all things beauty. Now, today, we're gonna talk a little about something called nails, hunty. Yes, the nail trends have been killing it in 2019, so far as we've even got some players that you wouldn't normally expect slaying the game this year. Now, one trend that's taking over Instagram by storm is the Skittles nail polish trend. Yes, my friend, I said Skittles and not the one you ate. We are not getting into 3D nail art just yet. Now, for this look, all you're going to need is 5 different colors and 5 fingers. You can use different fingers too. If you want to use 3 fingers, you'd be alright. However, all this trend is utilizing different colors on each nail for a fun, flirty look. Now, you can use bright colors, bold colors, opaque, whatever your heart feels or desires for that day. It's going to be very fashion forward. Now, the only bad part to this is if you chip a nail, honey, you better be prepared to have all 5 of those nail polishes in your purse, because you're gonna be kind of SOL if it's your pinky color and you only have your ring finger with you on deck, okay? Now, with that being said, everyone's doing this and it looks super fun. I even wanna get in on this nail trend with my girl Melly at Mainstream Nails. What's up, sis? I'm about to see you next week. But even Harry Styles has been getting in on this. Recently, he actually hosted SNL and he killed it with this beautiful Skittles nail trend. His nails truly stole the show in every scene. Now, he even matched up his nails from sparkly sequin jumpsuits to full-on all-red suit that just simply slayed. Now, the former One Direction singer has been seen using this Skittles nail trend earlier this year. If you might remember, he killed it at Met Gala 2019 with the Skittle nail, but this time at SNL, he really just stepped it up with that boldness a little bit more, and we are a fan hunty. Now, for more Beauty Blast videos or more beauty knowledge in general, make sure you're watching Daily Blast Live or Beauty Blast videos right here, or follow me at Jeray for this slay for more beauty talk. We'll see you guys next time.
New research points to a breakthrough when it comes to the coronavirus that could really help officials try to stop the spread. Let's connect the dots. The New England Journal of Medicine just published the findings that tests can detect the new coronavirus, COVID-19, in people before they show symptoms. though it's still unclear if at that stage people can spread the coronavirus to others. The researchers looked at over 100 people from Germany who were under quarantine and after being evacuated out of Hubei province. 2 of them tested positive before showing any signs of being sick. The concern is, if people can spread this while they have no symptoms, containing the outbreak could be a lot harder than first thought. Needless to say, more research needs to be done. Connecting the dots, I'm Dana Marie McNichol.
I'm Denise Plant. Today we are kicking off Anchor Power Core Ultra High Capacity Portable Charger. You can simultaneously charge any combination of devices. And best of all, this is surge and short circuit protection. Normally this will run as high as $50, but today only $25 with a savings up to 50% off. Next up are Extreme True wireless stereo earbuds with charging case. Just one touch control so you can answer calls and play that music. Bluetooth can be connected to 2 smartphones. Normally as much as $80, but because it's Steel Blast, $25, savings up to 69% off. Check these out. It's the 10-pack Food Hugger by Faberware reusable silicone food savers. Perfect saver for fruits and veggies. Just push your leftovers into the Food Hugger. It can also be used as reusable container covers. These are so cool. Normally they run as much as $31, but today only $12 with a savings up to 61% off. All right, ladies, you are gonna love this. The Person Lit Nylon Crossbody Bag with Purse Light. They have card slots and compartments to keep you organized. This runs normally as much as $79, but today only $29 with a savings up to 63% off. That's your Deal Blast. To buy these right now, go to morningsave.com and hit Daily Blast Live Deal Blast.
You know which one I want?
Which one?
The avocado hugger. That comes across as weird, but what it is you buy an avocado, it's $11,000, and then you waste it because it goes brown the next day. This keeps it safe.
Wow. I was looking for the earbuds, something nice and simple.
What about you?
The avocado hugger. I feel like I'm not the same person I was now that I know that it exists.
It like
yeah, what? Right? Do you just preserve your avocado?
Yeah, because otherwise it is like $13 an avocado, and then it goes brown and you're out without nothing.
Just make some guac and eat it right there, one sitting.
I don't need guac. I just need guac.
I need guac.
All right, fine. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.